get the actual file. Okay, so here the accept encoding is telling to the browser, to the server, that the server can kind of send me the data in compressed format also, to save its own bandwidth. Okay, so if the server wants to save its own bandwidth, what it can do is that it can compress this data in GZIP format and then send that data out. So here we will see that data in not in plain text but in GZIP format. But we can quickly just maybe what do you say? We can quickly decompress that and view the plain text file. We won't need any kind of a key to kind of decrypt that part, because it will be in plain text format. There will be no decryption. It will be only decompression. Okay. So I hope this clarifies this part.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Understood.
Okay. Okay, guys. So is there any other kind of question or concern, guys, related to the delivery of kind of making you guys understand about the header, or any kind of other questions about like kind of what those headers mean and how you can utilize that for your benefit? So I take that silence as no further questions. So what I will do, I'll just quickly grab some water, and then I will kind of start discussing with the HTTP response headers. Okay. Okay, guys. Now let's resume our discussion. So the thing is that let me just quickly consolidate what all things we have learned till now. So from the agenda part, we have covered the HTTP header, and that's HTTP header. I mean, let me just go to this part, and the client side HTTP headers. Okay, so this is something we have covered, and now we'll be covering the server side. And again, for the server side, I'll be explaining what are the important headers that as a SOC professional we should know. And I will also be kind of discussing few of the incidents where those headers could kind of come handy. Okay, and how it will be helpful to kind of do any kind of investigation. Okay, so this is again kind of like let's dive in the server header. And once that's done, I will be kind of setting a PCAP file for you, where we'll be kind of doing some exercise using Wireshark and try to answer a few of the questions. Okay. So now thing is that let's now jump to the server part. Okay. So let me just give me 1 second. Okay. And what I wanted to do is just do one thing. Okay, it seems like this. It has. Okay, it seems like it's hanged, but it's fine. We'll go to the Bubsuit tool. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll put the Bubsuit tool and just go to that. And what I mean is that I wanted to actually execute a specific website. So just give click over that. And over here, okay, so it's a little bit slow. So I think we need to kind of talk about, so once it's done, we'll kind of see that. So I want to actually visit a specific website just to showcase you guys the response headers and all. So what we will be kind of seeing right now, I will be kind of discussing about this all headers. So I'll just kind of write that down first. Okay. So the first header will be the server about the HTTP response. The first will be the server. Okay. So this is one of the header that we'll kind of look at. We'll also look at the date header. We'll also look at the content type header. Okay. What all things are sent out by the server to our browser. We'll look at content length header, and then we'll look at the last modified header, and then we'll look at the set cookie header. Okay, so this all thing will kind of go through that one by one and kind of understand what are these kind of fields that are sent by the HTTP header via the server, not by the client, via the server. Okay, so now let's quickly see those all things in action. So let's say the first thing will be the server. So this is one of the header which actually tells you what is the web server software that is running at the server end, and what is the and it can also tell us what its version number. Okay, and again, so if you recall, like yesterday we visited a specific website, and it was an HTTP website sample. Let me just go to that quickly. Hey, it's loading up. Yeah, this one. Okay, so now if you see, I have visited a HTTP website, and the only reason was that I was expecting that it might have certain extra headers that I can kind of showcase to you. Yeah. So now if you see the Google header, let me see. This is the, so what if you are following up on the lab and if you have kind of executed a Bubsoup tool in the response header, let's search like if it has a server. Okay. So it has a server field over here which says GWS, which means Google Web Server. Okay, so this tells me, so if I receive this at my end, I can know that the web server that is running at the Google is GWS, which is Google Web Server. But thing is that it is very, very, like the information of this field is actually something which is controlled by the server. Okay, yeah, so the user who is managing that server can control what value goes inside this server. Okay, so here the thing is that normally what you would see is that in much more detail what the software, what's the web server, and what its version is. But here right now, what Google has done is that it has actually hidden its own version number, and there's a specific reason why that Google has done that, and we'll look at that. But let's see the Columbia .edu that we have visited. And if we go to the server, we see that the version of that, the web server is Apache over here. Okay. And again, we see that the version number is not over there. So why they are doing that? The reason for that is like, if let's say this is the Apache web server that that this Columbia.edu is kind of utilizing at its end. So we now know that it's the Apache web server, but it is not disclosing the version name, version number. It can be like, let's say, if I go to over here and go to the repeater, so the version number would have been like let's say Apache version 2.6. So why the web server is not doing that? Because maybe let's suppose the Apache web server is running and it is running with version 2.6. And if it tells me that what the specific version is, as an attacker, I would kind of, what I will do is that I will quickly go to the net and I will see like, are there any known vulnerability of Apache web server? And as you guys might already know that there are a lot of vulnerability that always comes for the Apache web server. And if it